This is what I've learned in the content creation space. How they see it is if something works, you keep doing it. And you do it in different variations. That's just how it works. This is why trends are created. If I see something works, it performs well, I'ma just milk this thing and just do it in various different variations to look like it's creative. But it's truly not. It's just me just replicating the same thing over and over with a slight change. Now, we have to understand that that is equating to engagement, but that doesn't create impact. What creates impact is when we actually partner with God. And so as a content creator, you should be more focused on being Holy Spirit led and going based on God's idea versus trying to replicate something because you think it's going to create engagement or virality. Because again, you find yourself in this loop of needing to be validated, needing to be visible. And so when God does ask you to do something that shakes up that entire strategy, you can't leave that strategy, because if you do, then you no longer will be visible and you no longer will be validated. And so this is why it's so dangerous to build our identity and our approval based on systems and not on God. We should be able to do any instruction that God gives, regardless of whether we understand it or not, regardless of whether it creates results or not, because we're caring more about being obedient to the Father and being tethered and after his heart. But instead, social media has kind of trained us to prioritize attention instead of alignment. And so we're doing a lot of things, like we're doing some things that's even against the Bible. Everyone sees you crying in the midst of a worship moment. Everyone sees you reading your word all the time. Everyone sees you praying and kneeling. Everyone sees you in your secret place. Everybody sees you doing all these things that Jesus told us in Matthew 5 and 6 that we shouldn't do these things to be seen. Now, we oftentimes try to make it seem like our hearts are pure when we're doing it. And it's like, no, but the Bible tells us our hearts are desperately wicked. When we understand who we are as human nature, then we stop making excuses for a lot of things